advance. Good evening, everybody. It is, of course, Wednesday night. It is 7 o'clock, and that means none other than time for, once again, F1XL Xtra. Unfortunately, it's not going to be the usual kind of show. Multiple reasons. But the biggest one is, unfortunately, Barnes is not here today. I won't go into too much details. I feel like it's ultimately, give him the privacy that he deserves on this one. But I think he'll be back next week unless the awful feud that me and him are currently going through continues, which you might never see Barnes again. But yeah, Barnes might appear. Barnes might not. Who knows? I do kid, obviously. I guarantee you he'll be back within the next week or two. So fingers crossed on that one. But I'm hoping he can hear me. But I do have a backup in the chat for tonight, and I'm going to see if you can hear me now. Can you hear me, person? Before I, that's fine. Right. Well, I'm very happy to say that tonight. Do you know what? We looked around and we've seen all the options, who were available, about who we could get to do this show, and every other person said no. So unfortunately, you're all stuck with F1XL Norris. Evening, Matty.
Evening, Taz. I'm sure they all said no, because when would it be chance that they get to come on the show with you?
Exactly. Why would you turn that down? It's the best opportunity possible.
Exactly, unless your name's Bray.
Right. Well, I've got some good news for you. We have got a stacked show tonight, so we've got 3 guests lined up for tonight.
I have seen one of them that's sat in the chat waiting, but we will wait to get to him.
We'll move across in a second over to him. The first thing I'm going to say very clearly right now is we're only covering 3 divisions tonight because Division 1 was things happened.
Basically it broken.
Yeah.
As Lando would put it, broken.
Exactly. But yeah, so unfortunately, Div 1 broke, did not work as expected. Control Alt Delete, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, so unfortunately, you're stuck with there's 3 divisions for tonight. But you know what? Let's get this started in a second. I'm just making sure the stream's working. You know what? Let's put Matty under just some absolute chaos pressure earlier on, right? Matt, I'm going to ask you a very simple question, and it's just because I've been watching TikTok recently and I've seen a really funny thing, so I thought I'll ask you this question while I'm setting things up.
Here we go.
Oh, you're not ready for this, trust me.
Oh, go on.
Would you rather every Saturday morning you get beat up by a 9-year-old, or every Saturday morning you beat up a 9-year-old, and this is in front of a group of people, not just, in a quiet alley or anything. It's in front of, we'll say, hundreds of people.
Oh, Christ. Either way, I'm getting called names. Let's just put it that way. Either way, I'm getting called names. I'm getting called a bully. Oh, fucking hell. Child abuser.
Jex has just put in the chat 9-year-old.
9-year-old.
That's the question. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
As I say, either way, you're getting called names one way or another.
Correct. You know what? While you sit and stew on that, I'm going to bring our guest across. So let me bring across so we can start this off. You can sit and enjoy this, but I can't move him across. We need to move across to him. So yeah, let's do that. We jump across now. Right. One sec. Yeah. Right. Apologies on that. Right. So, gents, my guess for the first division, Div 2 for tonight, is none other than Mr. AGS Lemon. Hello.
Hello. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Do you know what? When I tell you about how the race went, you'll see how I am.
Yeah, I did hear things about what happened for Division 2.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was very, very nice and fun.
I'm glad
Very
you put
nice.
your name forward because I did want some entertainment, and you have to kind of bring up the entertainment value with Norris being here. So,
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Wow.
yeah. The whole thing is just going to be me slating you. That's my whole plan.
Good. That's what I want to hear. And there's other people watching this stream and who will watch this later on who will go, as long as you abuse Norris, that's all that matters. So,
course.
Well, to be fair, you don't even need to because I've just seen the check-ins for Abu Dhabi for Division 4 and I'm going to flaming kill BST.
Why?
Because all he's put at the end of it, ask Norris about his Man City blue PC. Because he's a twat.
Of course he has. Of
Yep.
course he has.
There's always little messages in there, and especially whichever division I'm in.
Yeah, good. He's doing his job right.
Yeah, he is.
Right, Lemon. On to you though. I suppose my first question I'm going to ask you is, how are you finding the step up? Obviously, I know you were sort of Div 5 end of last season, and we kind of knew that wasn't your true pace, I think. But how are you finding it being in a competitive division now?
It's really hard to tell. So I got a new wheel, like I think the week of the season started.
and we had
I was
problems.
Yeah. So I was like, this is going to be so great and awesome, and I'm going to love it. And then I realized that it didn't come with a desk clamp. And, that's been hard because every couple of corners I pushed my thing too far forward and all this stuff like that. So it didn't affect week 1. I was doing quite well, and then I spun on my own. But it would have affected it because I didn't have a keybind set to change my tires, meaning that when it went to wet at the end, we were lucky I crashed out. I didn't want to deal with that. Then this round, I was coming in. I like Belgium. I was kind of confident. We had the first session, and we had 2 quali sessions. I'll talk about that a little bit more in a second. But we had the first session, stank. Happy we had to do a restart. We had the second one come up. First lap, banker, grand. Second one, I pushed my wheel too far in, and the right-hand side of it smacked against my desk because I was taking bus stop. Spun out. Then went through Puan. You know the way sometimes it'll just start going up and down, up and down, up and down during Puan?
Yep.
Yeah, so it did that. And because my wheel isn't clamped down, it kind of started flying about the place, and I lost maybe 5 or 6 tenths. Ended up qualifying 16th, which is the lowest I've qualified in any league in 3 years. So, yeah, wasn't great. But I think now I got the clamp arrived on arrived yesterday. Yeah, arrived yesterday. So let's hope I can start learning the new wheel now properly, and I think the pace will come. That'll be grand then.
Good. I'm glad the clamp came because obviously I was in the chat reading the messages and trying to help you find a clamp, but
Yeah.
But it didn't come for Belgium as well as the worst part because we were talking about that before Abu Dhabi, weren't we? Not Abu Dhabi, before Monza, weren't we?
It was meant to arrive on Thursday, and it's lashing rain over here at the minute, and so it got delayed. And then there was the bank holiday for us on Monday, so I couldn't come on Monday, and it's here now.
Oh, the joys.
Exactly. Right, so qualifying. Why was there 2 qualifying sessions, I suppose, is the first question I should ask.
So I told you I'd be speaking poorly of Norris today.
Good.
Hey. Not my fault.
Somewhat. So I was sent settings, but I became a race controller maybe like a couple days before it happened. I was like, oh, I've done this before. It'll be grand. There'll be no issues. Yeah. We went through all the settings, saved them all, got them all in. One of them I messed up on my own, which is grand. It was approximate weather. I had it set to perfect. I guess I must have clicked over twice and it went back to perfect.
That's an easy one to make.
Very sad. Yeah, very sad. Not the biggest issue though. I think I was sent screenshots from a sprint weekend because Parc Ferme wasn't done. And I was like, oh, cool, because it's preset setups, maybe they just allow you to make changes because qualifying and race is very different. That's interesting. Then I got told by Steve, we don't like Steve, but he was just piping up. All the way he'd be doing, just chatting, piping up and all that sort of stuff. It's like, yeah, you know, you're not meant to have that on, right? And I was like, it says it on the settings, and he's like, it's not meant to be though. Then we have 15 minutes of me figuring out whether we have to restart or all that sort of stuff, and you know.
Yeah, I've just gone through that message and stuff like that. I must have clicked that off before I sent it.
Easily done. I was looking through. I was like, "Oh, this is very interesting. You don't really see Park Fairway off." Didn't question it. And then here we are.
Yeah, I must have caught that. That's my fault.
How the hell have you done that? Because Park Fermi's on sprint weekends as well. Have you just been cheating all of last season? Is that what's been going on? Is that why you've been like fighting for wins, Matty?
Me fighting for wins. Next joke. I'd get absolutely dusted by Rambo. Lemon comes in and just puts in Division 2, Division 1 times.
Yeah. Hey, he's using his presets, that's why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry. So where were you in the first qualifying in terms of that? Were you doing quite well? Yeah.
No.
Okay.
I said a 43.8. I think the current pole time was a 42.3. Invalidated a lap, and then I went, we're not even going to do the final one. We're just going to head into the next session, where I only improved by 0.2 across that. Would have set, if I didn't have my little wheel issue, would have set a much more competitive time, but
yeah,
here now.
Because what you said, half a second roughly, yeah.
So I was up by about 0.8, so it would have been a 43 flat, I think.
You're talking like top 5 minimum, yeah. So
yeah, and then I ended up going wide in my final one and getting a 43.6, which put me in 16th.
I do find it interesting that like the most of the pack from sort of 4th downwards are separated by like not a lot, and then the top 3 are like miles clear.
Miles. So on pole it was 0.4 from JJ, my teammate, over to Richie. Then Richie and Steve were within half a tenth of each other, and then there's a 5.5 gap down to 4th.
It doesn't make any sense, does it?
Like, I don't know. I think send Steve to Div 1. You can keep the other 2.
Just send Steve. Hey, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that in the admin chat.
Yeah,
good.
I'm just messaging saying, Steve, Div 1 now, please.
I'm sure he'll love it.
Well, he did say last season when he got moved up to Division 2 after changing assists, that he was like, "Oh, I'm not set for Div 2. Put me back into Div 3." No.
Yeah.
You mean Div 3, not Div 4? Yeah, because you mean Div 3 with us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Numbers are confusing. It's all good.
I know.
But yeah, was JJ's time, like, was his lap just that good? Did you see any of it, or was it just a case that, like,
I was too busy crying.
I
was so stressed that the lobby was messed up that I just couldn't pay attention anymore to anything that was going on. Just kept seeing JJ set new fastest laps and being like, "Oh, you know what? I'm just slow."
But that's crazy that there's like a second between him and 4th, but like, half a second between.
That is crazy.
Yeah, crazy stuff.
So then the race, right? Let's talk about the race. What happened?
Yeah, I'll give you a little personal thing as well as just a general.
Yeah, go for it.
Rundown. So I started 16th. I'm well renowned, known for having terrible race starts, but it's fine. I can only drop 3 places. We're grand.
We're fine. It's like that meme with just the guy pointing his head, being like, "Can't drop places if you're at the back."
In my main league, I do GRL. I have won an award for worst start because I started off in neutral twice, dropped from 3rd to 18th on 2 different occasions. It's not good. But yeah, started off poorly, just dropped back off the line, and then turn 1 in Spa, people decide that the inside is the best line. Apparently, it's not. But anyway.
Murder happened then, by the sounds of it.
Not heavy murder, just a bunch of people making slight contact. Blah, blah, blah. I went from 16th, then I went 3 wide into a Rouge, had Cheks screaming behind me. Lemon, don't do it, Lemon, don't do it. Got through there, made it up to 11th, and then I saw Bray, and I was like, yeah, Bray, I've got easy Bray, smoke Bray, and every other league I do. And then I just couldn't get past them. Yeah, so he held me up. He ended up coming fourth in the end. But so that was my that's all that really happened to me. And I had a couple of contact situations where people would smack into me and go through, or I'd get annoyed and go for a stupid dive bomb, narrowly avoid contact. It was not a clean race. But overall, there were a couple of key moments. We had lap 7, Hake. He ended up crashing out, and there was a safety car in the middle of the start of the second sector. That would have been.
So the sort of chicane, like yeah, okay.
Yeah, around that kind of spot.
I've not seen what's happened to him, to be honest. I need to go back and watch that because he's my team principal, and he said nothing about it. I don't think.
Looked like he was halfway down that straight part coming in towards P1. It looked like he was halfway down when he spun, so I'm not sure what happened. But yeah, he ended up crashing. We a lot of the medium runners then boxed for hards. A couple people stayed out, so there was a lot of mix of things, people moving around. Started back off again talking about me. I dropped from what was 12th to last because I couldn't deal with the colds. But it was fine because as soon as I got passed by Rockham, is that the Mercedes?
Eskimo, yeah.
Eskimo. RRC Eskimo.
Yeah.
Sky the Senpai was just ahead, and then Eskimo goes for a little switchback at bus stop, makes it stick. It was a beautiful move. And then he's halfway up the straight and loses traction and just takes them both out of the race.
I didn't realize both of them crashed it then.
Yeah,
I seen the Sky into it, but I didn't realize it was both of them. Jeez, right, okay.
Both of them. Yeah.
Wow, okay.
I got a great view of that if you want to hit the clip after the race. Got a great view. It was so funny. Anyway, another safety car. Everyone comes in again. At this moment, I'm not sure if you're aware of Steve's wheel issues.
Yes,
no?
I am.
Yeah.
Go on, explain it, yeah.
So, I don't even know what wheel he has. I think it's a Logitech. It would make sense if it was a Logitech. Where randomly in the race, it'll just half disconnect to where you can still drive with it, but ERS has to be manual, DRS has to be manual. There's no real force feedback, anything like that. It's basically as if it's just as if you're turning your controller right and left when you're going through different things. That's kind of what it is. So that happened off the first safety car. And then he went, I'm going to make sure it's safe going into the second one. Comes back out. Safety car's in this lap. Everyone's bunched up again. We're all kind of on new hards by this point. Some of us on new mediums. And it's like, lights out. Let's go. Steve screams on call. The wheel's got again!
Brilliant.
Oh, so good. So he ended up leaving the lobby to try to fix it. There was no more safety cars, but then his AI pits for mediums, and he's down in 15th. Nothing brought me more joy. Yeah, but we were with the same as the first lobby. I think it might have been a little bit different, but you have to stick to the same weather. Keep everything off air. You can't just be like I've done a wrong lobby setting because it's wet and I don't like it being rainy, which is something I would probably do. But yeah, so we had to set it to the same kind of thing, meaning the last bracket was wet.
Ooh.
So we go to the whole race, it's perfectly sunny and dry, and then instantly lashing it down. We have 2 laps to go. No one's pitting, but it gets so wet so quickly.
Yeah.
There's people spinning everything all over the place. There were a couple people who were happy out, enjoying, doing their quick speeds. People probably on medium traction, but a lot of us at the back were kind of struggling. I ended up, coming through, nearly getting a 10th place point finish, but I decided I wanted to kill Sander instead. And then I, nice guy and all, I let him. I mean, let him back pass is a strong word, but I let him back past. Finished at 11th. It ended up being quite a comfortable finish for most in the end. except for Steve.
Steve's gonna rewatch this and he's gonna hate every word of it.
I'm going to text him. We've got a race later. Well, he might be back in time. But we have a race later. One that we both own the league, AGS Lemon, all that sort of stuff. We both own that league, and yeah, I'm going to tell him I was talking every kind of bad thing about him ever.
Brilliant.
He'll be like, yeah, that's fair. No change there, I see.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did have some surprise results though. Some very shocking results. JJ in first, shocker. Wow. Anyway, Leonardo came second. I didn't realize he was that quick. That caught me really off guard. He was high up for most of the race, so fair play to him in second. Errol, Bob in third. Wouldn't be a surprise if you just realized he was third. He's quite quick, but in context, his connection was so bad to the point where people were like saying, here, you have to he can't race anymore. You have to just tell him to stop driving because it's impossible to drive around. He ended up leaving during the second safety car, came back and got a podium. I'm sure Bray is happy because he also came in fourth. How? How have we allowed this? Totally unacceptable.
Bray seems to have found pace.
Yeah.
Do you know,
yeah, it's a weird things are going on. I don't like it.
Well. No, not comfy. In fifth, we had Bullet Wound, pretty solid result. Greener's in sixth, again, consistent. He was going to do that. Simple Chris, seventh, again, same kind of thing. Eighth, Chips and Davies. That's, again, he had a poor qualifying, but that's 2 races in a row where you would have said Chips can go out and win this race. Granted, Monza wasn't really his fault.
Yeah, we're not allowed to talk about that. I've been told by Davey to stop talking about that and getting disqualified by the safety car,
I was saying going into it that I'm going to do it again, and the first safety car came out, and I was like, this is around the same lap as last time.
Well, I've read the Div 2 chat, and there was a question asked, did you nearly get killed by the safety car? He says, nearly.
Same. It moved on the braking.
Oh, no.
I was on the straight, and I was going around it, and he went from right to left as I was on the left-hand side. He almost killed me.
Oh, Christ.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Then we had Taplin that in 9th again, another solid 10th and 9th in the first 2 rounds. 11th we had me, which is better than I expected, but considering only 15, I believe, finished, it's not too great. Checks in 12th, kind of struggled in the wet weather. I think, if I'm not mistaken, the other 3 had a lot of big damage towards that last, when it started raining, and I just sent them over the edge. Like Richie, I overtook after he got damage, all stuff like that. But yeah, that was the results for Div 2.
Oh, perfect. I mean, you've done our job for us on top of that, to be honest. Thank you. Yeah, I think now that the clamp's there, though, is tonight the first real tester in terms of how it's feeling?
Yeah, I used it a bit yesterday. I was slow. We'll see now tonight in a proper racing environment if I'm going to be able to do anything there. But granted, I've been here instead of practicing, and the race starts in half an hour. So
priorities. F1XL.
Exactly, priorities indeed.
But we'll ask you the simple questions then. So I suppose the question is: Abu Dhabi under normal circumstances a track you like?
I haven't raced it in a while. I do like presets around here, though.
Mm-hmm.
I think preset setups are really nice around Abu Dhabi. Yeah, other than that, it's been a good track for me previously. I don't think I've done many races here, but I like driving it. It's not boring. With the sprint as well, a lot of opportunity to be gaining places and stuff like that. So I'm excited, I'll say.
Yeah. And how are you feeling about the one-shots?
Oh, yeah. If anything from Div 5 last season, I'll tell you, I love the one-shots and can't stick it in the race. Poland, both of them, followed by P2s in both races.
He's bottled the win.
Every time.
Yes.
So I won by 28 seconds in the final round.
Yes. he said, right, do you know what? That's then
Sandbagging's
screwed
been
me
around.
over.
Yeah.
That screwed me over. Let's just take the sandbags off and fuck off
Yeah,
down
yeah.
the road.
There we go. It worked out.
And then I suppose the last question I'll ask for you is, who is winning this weekend?
It's a really tough question. I mean, actually, no, it's not. It's JJ. No, it isn't that. I think JJ, if he's around still by this round in Abu Dhabi, I don't think you can move him up though after that for one race. I think he should probably walk it. I know he said Belgium was one of his favorite tracks, but you'd be stupid not to go with the championship leader by 12 points after 2 rounds.
Yeah, that's a fair assumption. Matty, who are you saying?
I think I'm gonna have to agree with Lemon and JJ. He's as you said in the draft, how no one picked him is unreal.
Yeah, it still baffles me.
And he's basically showing all the team principles. Haha, suckers! I'm just gonna take the championship away from your drivers.
I'm going to go different. I think, you touched on it earlier, but someone who is very quick, Leo. I think Leo, this could be the race for him. He was Div 1 last season, so he did have sort of some experience racing the quick guys. But yeah, I think he's in the right place. He's probably top end Div 2, but not quite Div 1. So yeah, I'll back Leo for this weekend. I'm sure he's going to hate me for that one, but
Yeah, he probably will.
That's what I'll say on that. Lemon, we'll let you go because obviously you've got your race in half an hour, but thank you so much for taking time to come and speak to us. And we'll definitely speak to you again before the end of the season.
Yeah, cheers.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Right. Now let's go back to the most important question of the night. Matt, have you decided yet?
No. No, there's no way I can answer it because I'm not getting called all the names under the sun, and I'm not getting arrested.
No, you have to give us an answer.
All right, I'll give you a quick answer. I'm going to toe punt the 9-year-old.
Okay, so you'd rather beat up a 9-year-old in front of a lot of people rather than being beaten up by a 9-year-old in front of a lot of people, yeah?
Yeah.
Fine.
Here comes on the, you're a child abuser. Child abuse.
I'm just trying to chat. Tony, all I'm going to say about you is that me and you have special memories of Abu Dhabi. So, we remember that ridiculous qualifying. But I think you'll suffer from a little bit of rustiness, I'll call it. Just for this week. I think you'll start, getting results. But I think rustiness the first week for at least. However, to be fair,
I just seen the 2 chat comments. What a criminal, and Craig. I agree with him.
Yep. Okay, right. Let's move this swiftly on then, and let's go to division number 3 now.
Yes.
To say blast from the past would be slightly insulting, but at the same time, it's a blast from the past.
It is indeed.
Yes. So I'm very happy to say that our guest is currently racing on the Div 3 grid and has raced in XL in the past, but he's back after a little while away from us. And that is none other than RB driver, Berserker Mark.
Evening, gentlemen.
Hello, Mark. How are we doing?
I'm all right, mate. Yourself?
Yeah, not doing too bad. Happy to see your name back on the grid, especially after the first couple of races.
Yeah, it's great to be back, to be fair. I have missed it. So, yeah, it lured me back in. I thought I decided to get the F1 game. I didn't get it. Then I didn't get it again. I thought, do you know what? I'm going to get it. And
temptation was real.
Honestly, it was like, I couldn't stay away. And I've always sort of kept tabs on F1XL while I've been away. I mean, it's been 6 seasons now.
Jesus Christ, has it really been that long you've been away for?
It has, 6 seasons.
Christ.
So to say I'm a bit rusty is an understatement. I'm a bit like a 100-year-old wrought iron gate, And, but
well, based on your first 2 rounds, I would disagree with that because I think we've had some hell of a battle already so far.
Oh, we have Taz, yeah, we have. Especially in the wet in Monza, that was incredible. How I didn't destroy you in that chicane, I don't know, but I got it stopped. That's all I'm saying. I got it stopped.
I had that sense of shit.
Don't worry, it's me. You can trust me.
So the old rivalry has returned then.
It has, yeah,
it
has. It has. And I'm glad that I'm paired up with Adski. I mean, I've been paired up with Adski before when I raced for McLaren. So I know him well. I know quite a few of the drivers in the league. I was quite surprised I was in Div 3, if I'm honest. I thought I'd be in the lower league. So when I got drawn, I was quite happy I got drawn, to be honest. But when I got drawn and I saw who I was racing, I was like, oh dear, I'm in trouble. But no, it's been okay. I've sort of surprised myself. You know, it's not the results that I'm used to getting in XL. You know, I'm used to being at the sharp end of the spear. But I've been top 10 both of the first 2 races, and I'm super happy with that. You know, especially with the absence that I've had, and I've had the game and played the game maybe I don't know, no more than 11, 12 times. So I'm quite happy with what I've produced so far, but it's been difficult. It's not been easy.
Yeah, I think that goes to say about a couple of things though, because I think obviously the fact you said you've been away, and then also on top of that, I think the strength of our grid this season is something else.
It's stacked.
Yeah,
it's stacked.
Like, yeah, and not only that though, we're adding 2 drivers in as well.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's a case of first come first serve for the new drivers and everything and that. And thankfully for Bonter, he let the new drivers drive at the weekend as well. So it was good of him to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean we have got a stack league. We've got a stack league. There isn't an absence of pace anywhere, no matter what the results are and where people finish, there's just not an absence of pace. Whether you're at the front, the middle, the back, there's great racing going on throughout that division. Anyone can win a race, which isn't normally normal for a division. You've normally got as you say, your top 3 or 4 drivers. You've got a gaggle in the middle, and then you've got a few that at the back that are maybe struggling a little bit, but it just doesn't seem the case with Div 3. Anyone could win that race at any weekend,
and that's what we want every season, every race as well.
Exactly, and I think honestly, qualifying on Sunday kind of set that up quite nicely in that aspect, because the gap between first and last was quite considerable. I think it was about 2 seconds between first and last. But
2.8.
Yeah, the IMI who had done 0 practice had barely touched the game. They were quite far back in qualifying. But Swiss King, who was sort of the first person who'd sort of done a bit of practicing, those 3 were a bit out. But if you look from sort of P1 to P17 in terms of the splits, like all the way down, it's like next to nothing between the drivers. I think there was under 210s between first and second, under 210s between second and third, and it got even smaller through the rest of the pack.
Just looking at that now.
Yeah, everyone had somebody near them in terms of qualifying pace, and I think that was immediately a sign, okay, we could be in for a good race this weekend. And then the race happened, and I think there was a group of cars that kind of pulled away early, and then a group of cars that sort of fought their way back in. But it was all, again, very nip and tuck in that aspect. But Mark, obviously for yourself, you qualified P6, which was quite good. Just got ahead of me. I mucked up my timing, so I didn't do a final run. But the start of the race, were you involved in whatever happened, or did you manage to avoid it?
No, I managed to avoid it, luckily. I mean, I lost a couple of places just through being cautious, really. I mean, I started on the hards rather than the mediums, thinking to myself, with the weight of the car, the hards are going to perform better for longer, and my mediums are going to react better with a lighter car towards the end of the race, and hopefully give me a bit of advantage over the hard runners with a bit of extra pace. Didn't quite work out that way, but that was the thinking. So I managed to get away quite well. It bottlenecks at T1 at Spa anyway, so I managed to get through that and looked behind me, and all sort of carnage consumed with ghosted cars and all sorts of stuff going on. But I managed to get away, but I did lose some places at the start, so I had to fight my way back. I was sort of fighting with Dan Jelly and Titan Iron for quite a few laps. I managed to pull an audacious overtake on the outside in sector 3 on Dan. Just before I didn't even know if I was going to make it, but I was making it stick. But yeah, I got round him, and then he then again got the DRS down the Camel Straight and got me. So, and I fought with him for a few laps. Yeah, and I was sort of in no man's land for a while, for quite a long time, until I spotted your car, Taz.
Hello.
And I was like, right, hello. I have a target, missile incoming, and I got that gap down, and I thought, I've got him. Even if I don't pass him, I've got him.
You know what? The whole time as you were climbing up, I'm like, I was sitting there being like, it's gonna happen, and then it happened.
But I don't know what you did. I mean, it was either incredible battery management, or whatever. But I got to within a second of you, and I thought, I'm gonna get that DRS, and then you just went. There was nothing I could do. I was trying absolutely everything. I cooked every last bit out of those tyres trying to keep up with you, but then you just went and you pulled the gap back to where it started, and I was like, okay, I'll settle for where I'm at. I'm not catching him now. So fair play. You drove a blinder at the end of that race. You really did.
It was the combination of two things at the end, because I knew that there was only a matter of time before your tires fell off, because obviously you were on the mediums from 14 to the end, and obviously being at the start of the race, I knew by lap 8 they were a pain to drive anyway. So I was like, by that point of the race, you're gonna be really struggling for the grip. And then also, I'm not gonna lie, I was sort of I've made sure the battery, when you got too close to that 1 second, I'm like, if I can keep it just over the second, I've got 100% battery to just dump on him and then pull away in the middle sector. And that's kind of what happened for a couple of laps, because the guys in front of me as well, I think Olaway Face, who was the car directly in front of me, he came right back to me. I think I ended up finishing about 0.7 of a second behind him, and he did the same strategy as you. So at the very end of that race, the difference in tires was close to 2 seconds a lap. So I don't think you necessarily drove bad or did anything bad. I think it was just the fact that the tires are that
I had nothing left.
Yeah,
I had about as much grip as I had in the wet at Monza, mate. I had enough grip at the end of that race at all. I pushed as hard as I could, and there was no catching you. So I just took the P9 and took the couple of points. I was happy with that.
Yeah, to be honest, I was kind of glad that you were catching me, and I know it sounds strange to be saying that, but there was a genuine point in that race where I think Adski turned around to me probably halfway through my Marston. He's like, "How you getting?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm on track." He's like, "Is that you, the orange dot that's got nothing around you?" I'm like, "Yep." I was 6 seconds behind, 7 seconds behind the car in front, and 7 seconds in front the car behind. I'm like, "Well, this is fun." I'm doing time.
No man's land.
Oh, it was tough, because it was numbingly dull at points, and then you started catching me, and I'm like, okay, we have something to work for and fight for now. So, but yeah, it was a slog of a race. But no, honestly, I think bearing in mind you're a tier 2 driver, I think the fact that you've started off as well as you have is brilliant for you as well. You've had 2 really good results so far, and I think the pace is there to get more results. I think, I'm not saying there's going to be movement in the leagues, because I generally don't know if there is any movement in the league, but I think that genuinely there's probably, the more you pick the game up and start racing it, you're only going to get better at it. I think there's going to be races there that you can win this season for sure.
Yeah. I mean, I know there's definitely pace there. There's definitely going to be an improvement in my pace, that's for sure. But I'm just happy to be racing F1 again. I'm happy to be racing, the team that I'm racing, the partner that I've got. I'm super glad to see how well he's done since I've been away. I'm just happy to be back on the track, to be fair. What will be will be. If I win one, fantastic. If I don't, I'm just happy to grab points. If I can help my team in any way, and we need the help. If we, we do need the help. We've had an unfortunate couple of weeks. A lot of it hasn't been down to the drivers themselves. So if I can bring home points each week, I've kind of done my job as a tier 2 driver.
Yeah, because I think last week you were the only scorer for the team.
I was just about to bring that up myself, actually.
And how I managed that in my first race in the wet at Monza with the stacked league we've got, I really don't know, but I did, so I'm happy with that.
Oh no, sorry, you got 4 points. Yeah, so someone else got a point, I think, from a penalty, but you were the only one that finished inside the top 10, which is just like mental. Especially with the team you've got as well. That's the thing I find crazy. Like,
we've got a great team. We really have. We've got some names in there. We've got some great drivers. They've just been unlucky. But yeah, we've got a great team. The principal's really, really good. He's a great guy. He tries to help us out as much as possible. But it's you're bound by what happens on the track on the Sunday, aren't you? You can put all the practice in the world, you can have the best strategy in the world, but it all comes down to what you can deliver in those 20, 25 odd laps on a Sunday night. That's the defining factor. But yeah, I've been pretty lucky. I've been pretty chuffed with my results so far, so hopefully I can continue it, if not get a bit better. But yeah, we'll see. It's a long season. There's lots of races. Lots going to happen.
Exactly. Oh, most definitely.
Right, Matty, go on. You got any other questions for the man?
All I'm going to just say now is Abu Dhabi for next week. How are you feeling with it being the first sprint race back?
I mean, I love a sprint race. I was always historically, I was a street track driver. That's what I was known for. Yeah, I was, a street track driver. That was me. But I don't know. I've not raced. A bit like Lemon said, I haven't raced Abu Dhabi for a long time. I'm sure I'll do okay, but look at who I'm racing against. These guys are fast. Probably a lot more track experience than me. But I'll do my best. I'll do my best. I'll do what I normally do. Drive as clean as I possibly can, as fast as I possibly can, for as long as I possibly can. And if I can help my teammate in any way, then I'll do so. I fully expect him to do far better than me, but I'll be there. I'll be there. I'll try and cause some problems along the way, as I normally try to do.
Good. That's what we'd like to hear.
Yeah, I like being a bit of a roadblock at times if I can, and try to apply a bit of pressure on Tazo if I can at all. But we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Battle commences.
Yeah, indeed.
The battle re-engages between you two.
Yeah, it certainly has.
Honestly, if the first 2 races are anything to go by, don't be surprised to see us 2 fighting again, because we've been, like I say, the first race me, you, and Chetty had. I would describe it as a war almost. It was a proper nice little ding dong battle, but it was all clean and respectful. That was the best thing about it. And then obviously Sunday you were hunting me down like an absolute madman. So I expect a battle with you again this Sunday. I'm not gonna lie.
I'll give it my best. If I'm in your vicinity, expect a fight, Taz.
That's what Taz will want, because that's what Taz turns up for every week: a decent race and decent battling between other drivers and stuff like that.
Yeah. I mean, for me, racing's about the wheel to wheel stuff. Showcasing that you can pass a driver or battle a driver without necessarily impacting the driver, or killing them, murdering them. The results, obviously, they're a bonus, but it's about the racecraft for me. That's why I race.
Good. That's definitely what we want to hear. Most definitely. So the next question would be, unless Taz has got anything.
No, you asked the question.
Who's your prediction for the race winners for sprint and the main race?
It's a real hard one. Woody's got a lot of pace. I'm not, I've never been a one-lap driver myself. I've always been a racer rather than a qualified driver. But Woody's got a lot of pace. Ancient Chap's got a lot of pace. But I've got to back my boy Adski. He's he wasn't available for Monza, which was a shame. But he turned up and really turned up well at Spa. He's got some great pace. He's a great racer. So I don't know whether he'll win the sprint, but I think he'll definitely win the race. That's my prediction. The sprint is a lot harder because it's all guns blazing, isn't it? A sprint race. Yeah. So it depends who gets murdered, who gets a little bit excited and drives into a wall. But yeah, I don't know. I think Woody has got a good chance because he has got blistering one-lap pace. Titan, DNG Titan, if he's there, he's got great pace over a short period if he can hold it together. So yeah, there could be numerous winners of the sprint race, but ultimately, I'm backing my partner Adski.
No, thank you very much, Taz. Yourself?
Oh, you're backing me, are you?
No, you back him to win. No, not.
I think the sprint race. I'm fully thinking Woody, and my rationale behind this more than anything is I agree with Mark that I think he's got pace. My concern with Woody is he's got pace, but I don't think he has the longevity, consistency for a full race at the moment. I think I've seen that in a couple of races. Obviously, I've seen it in the social at China before the start of the season, and then I've also seen it again. I think Sunday was probably a good example of that, in the fact that he probably was, potential to be the quickest, but he finished 16 seconds behind the front two. I think once he is able to apply that pace over a race distance, I think he's going to start winning race after race. But I think sprint race, that's the perfect thing for him. Put the car front row, complete however many laps it is. I think it's 10 laps or something like that, 8 to 10 laps.
Yeah, I think so.
I think that's a nice little thing for him to do. Main race, I think Mark's probably not far off with some of the names he's mentioned. He's mentioned Ancient, he's mentioned DNG Titan, he's mentioned Adski, all really good drivers. I think, looking further down the grid, I think there's possibly guys that are out of position in terms of where they finished on Sunday. I think, Narwhal, I know it's only P6 he finished, but I think that's probably low for where expected. I think Narwhal probably is going to be one of the guys in the hunt for the fight. I think Kent had a bad race on Sunday as well. He was involved in the chaos, and all your face was absolutely rapid on Sunday. He pulled away from Berserker Mark and Dan, and really came flying in on myself and Narwhal. At one point it was 1.2, 1.3 seconds a lap. It was insane how quick he was. But I'm going to go out on a limb. I'm going to say Dan Jelly, just for the sheer chaos. No, actually, no. Back to last week, he did nothing. No, we're going to go with all the way your face. Yeah,
you're going to go with who?
All the way your face. I'm going to go that way. I think he genuinely showed ridiculous pace at times on Sunday. So yeah, I think if he can get a good qualifying in the main race, he's going to win it.
Fair enough, Taz.
Right.
So
on to you.
Sprint wise, I don't know because I haven't really caught up with any of the Div 3 races yet. I know we've got one on screen at the moment and stuff like that. So I'm gonna skip the sprint race and I'm just gonna pick the main race winner.
Right back.
Yeah, I know. But I think if he is back this week, I think DNG Titan, he's gonna say that he missed a race. I'm back this week and I'm gonna take that top spot again and say catch me, because he showed some cracking pace in that first race, didn't he? And Yeah, he was far gone in the field and in race 1, and he missed last week. So I think he's going to come back and take the top. Skip the sprint. Where's that 9-year? Oh, fuck you, Sparrow. But no, I am going to back DNG Titan this week. I am going to back the Aston driver.
Yeah. No, thank you very much for that. Mark, anything else you want to say before we do let you go for the night?
No, not really. Just thanks again for getting me back in F1XL. It's great, but as I said, it's great to be back. And I'll see you on the track on Sunday, Taz.
Yeah, no, thanks from us to you, because obviously coming back and seeing you on track is always good. But yes, thank you very much for joining us, and I look forward to the fight on Sunday night. So
pleasure, and I will try to give you one.
Perfect. Thank you, Mark. Speak to you in a bit.
Thank you.
Catch you later. Cheers, guys.
Catch you later.
I know it was the right choice asking that question. I'm just reading the chat.
Yeah, I thought you might.
Yeah. Right. It's 4 time. Now, we've got a daily double for this one.
Yeah, we have, and I'll drag them both in.
Yep, you drag them both in. And you know what? Because you're the Div 4 driver, I'm going to let you take charge of this one. You can ask all the questions.
Kind of not, because I'd just rather not want to even repeat anything from Sunday. Thank you very much.
Well, guess what? You're here to do a job, so get your professional hat on, stop whinging about your race, and start talking to them about their race, you know?
Yes, as Taz said, we have got the double dose of...
Shut up,
words.
I'm going to start calling, you know, Granville.
Fucking Granville.
Arkwright. Honestly, I'm going to call you Arkwright from now on, as you're going to start doing that. Sorry. That's a reference for... The older ones will get that one, but maybe some of the younger ones might not.
I was going to say, I definitely get it.
Uh-huh.
But we are joined by Craig, Ryan, and Sparrow. Welcome in, lads.
Good night.
This is going to feel weird because they're both probably going to end up talking at the same time.
Just direct your conversation to one of them. It'll be nice and easy. That's what you do.
Yeah, it will.
Let Craig Ryan go first. No, he's more than entitled to.
Yeah, we will give him that one. We'll after Sunday night. So, Craig.
Yeah.
Now in Division 4 and stuff like that, how are you feeling with it being there, and how was your Belgium?
I thought my Belgium was quite good, to be honest, despite previous races. I was just really shocked that I managed to take the win.
I was gonna say you did take, yeah, you did. Let's start with your qualifying first, though, and explain how you felt in your qualifying.
Right. My qualifying felt all right, to be honest. I put in one bad lap to begin with, and then my second lap wasn't much better, but managed to stick P3 despite being on the white line and almost getting track limits.
Ooh. Yeah, that's not a great way to go.
This game hates me with track limits, especially at this track as well. But
I do apologise. I'm just sneezing. Just carry on.
But yeah, I felt my pacing qualifying was all right, but when I got P3, I thought this is probably going to be the same as my race, stay in like P3 or drop like a place.
Could you quite believe the times that Wade and Olds put in as well?
Yeah, they put in some great laps in qualifying.
I'm gonna say they finished 4 tenths in front of you.
Yeah,
which is unreal.
I was a bit shocked because I was like, how are these guys putting in a faster lap than me? But I was screwing up left, right, and centre, especially in the third sector, I think it was.
Oh,
I kept losing all my ERS on that back straight.
Yeah, ERS management on this track was not the greatest.
It was not.
So let's go on with the race and everything. How did you feel, and how was the race? Did you feel like that with the win, could you have done more?
I definitely felt I could have done more. My start wasn't particularly great, to be honest. I had I think it was Dean all over my back for like the first couple of laps, and then from then on, I was just in a place of my own for a little bit, up until lap 7, 8, I think it was, and then I really started to catch in on Alts and Wadey, and then I just kind of just went off into the distance like Max Verstappen used to.
I was just gonna say, I think I looked at one point before the safety car come out, and you were going. You were at the end of Kemmel Straight when everybody was just coming to the bottom of El Rouge and stuff like that. I'm thinking, well, Craig Wright's gone, flupped off. Who's going to catch him?
Yeah, I think I pitted on lap 14 or 15.
I was going to say that was just before the safety car then, wasn't it?
I obviously with fresh mediums while everyone was on used hards behind me. I was just gaining time and making a bigger gap. And I think I was like 18 to 19 seconds when that safety car came out to Wadey.
Yeah, I was going to say, Wadey's just come in the chat. He said that you started on hard, so everyone else had pitted.
Yeah.
There was a mix of tyre strategies, wasn't there? I think somebody started on hards, and I think that person is actually in the chat with us. But we'll get to that one. I think a couple started on softs, quite a few started on hards, and the rest on mediums. So it was definitely a mixed bag of strategies for everybody. And how did you feel with that safety car coming out? Are you thinking, damn, there goes my lead and everything? Because did you have any penalties on that?
I had a 1 3-second penalty for a really annoying penalty. Track limits.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have got the penalty because I was on the white line, but I don't mind.
And how does it feel as well, also, that you take the win and your teammate gets P2?
Yeah, it's a great day for Red Bull. I was actually talking to him during the race, and as soon as that safety car came out, my expression and everything changed to Toto in 2021 Abu Dhabi. When he was like, no, Mikey, this is so not right.
Hang on a second, let me see if I can find it.
Mikey, no, Mikey, that was so not right.
Just like that, if you didn't hear it.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And obviously with carrying that 3 seconds as well, I wasn't thinking I could take the win because I knew Wadey like just pitted for a fresh set as soon as the safety car came out. So I was like, if I stay out, I'm going to get overtaken by him and probably lose the win. And then I saw Tank was ahead of him. So I made an ultimate play with Tank and said, can you just try and defend him off and let me just build a bit of a gap? And luckily he could.
So yeah, that's the thing with Tank, and that if he can hold someone up and that he will. He was here last season and he did some fantastic defending for me because me and him were teammates last season. And he did hold up a few people. So now that he's taking it into your team as well and with helping you out and everything, so that was definitely a massive help for you.
Oh yeah, it was definitely a massive help. He proves he is a tank.
Nice. But no, do you know what? We'll end with that one for now, and then I'll come back to you with the predictions and stuff like that. But we will go on to the other pain that is in here. Sparrow.
Taz is in the background.
Yeah, I wasn't talking about Taz.
Oh, yeah, I thought my apologies. Hello, everyone.
So, Sparrow, how was your race weekend and with quali and race?
Oh, it was wonderful. I got to spend some wonderful time with you and Arnie and everyone. Oh, wait, you mean the actual thing? Oh, sorry.
Yeah, we won't go that way.
Christ, find that 9-year-old. I'll let her beat me up. Moving on. So qualifying, that was interesting. I thought I did quite well. Originally, I was at sort of P5, P6. I thought, yeah, this will do. And then as the times kept coming in, you kept saying about Olds and Wadey. Some of their times are rapid. They'll be battling Div 3 if they were in there. But Christ, I ended up P9. I was quite happy with that. 19 runners, so mid pack. As BT was also saying, though, there's a lot of quick drivers in there, so I was happy for what I got. Started the race. Well, I was about 4 wide into turn 1, especially halfway around the corner. I started on mediums, so it was a medium hard predicted run until the safety car, which I had later on. After turn 1, I went from P9 to P6 and then battled with Tyler, battled with Arnie for a little while, battled with Alan Y. Is it Alan Y or Alany?
Alan Y, Alany, I'm not too sure. I think he's down on the sheets.
Alan Y.
There you go.
Because he's Jers. Yeah.
I thought it was Jers.
Yeah, cheers, Jeff. I mean, Taz. In case anyone notices and no one sees me again, this was my last chance of ever being on it. I got quite a good start off there, and then the race was quite a solid one, to be honest. Just kept battling with everyone. I got to admit, Senna had a good battle with me. He kept sort of going for me, and I just managed to hold him off. Kept going for it again and hold me off, and so that was. I'll give Senna the credit for that. Dean was with me a lot as well. I think I boxed for hards on about lap 8, lap 9. Got myself right to the back of the pack and thought, I'm in trouble here. But as everyone kept boxing, I just kept going past them. Kept myself up to about P6. And then obviously the safety car hit, and I didn't know. I was sort of in a limbo. Like, is this a good thing? Is this a bad thing? And obviously everyone's, well, I'll say everyone except for Senna.
Yes.
Everyone. So me and Dean at the same time said, "Yeah, let's go for it." So we boxed for softs. Senna said, "No, I'm going to go one more lap." Then boxed, and Senna went from, I think it was 8th at the time, to about 17th.
Yeah.
Sorry, Senna. You should have just stayed with us, mate. If you stayed with us, you would have been points guaranteed. So that was that. And then after safety car, we had 2 laps of racing, and I had a chance on Tyler, but he also had a chance on Arnie, and I think it was a case of, I've got 2 warnings. I don't want a third. I don't want to risk it. I'd rather take P6 and take away some decent points than go for it, get the pen, spin out, crash. So consistency for me was a priority over risking it.
Oh no, most definitely. As you say, consistency was the key for it, because as you said, you had 2 penalties already, and you didn't want to get any more and fall down that field, because there was quite a few people with penalties as well. So, and
I mean,
lot of people...
some people are a bit fortunate with the safety car, because 1 or 2, I think Olds, for example, he had 13 seconds, and then as soon as we had that safety car, he managed to box, get rid of that 10 seconds. And
yeah. I was going to say, I picked up a 10-second penalty on the first lap because I'd picked up wing damage, and for some reason it said that I was speeding in the pit lane when it was green on my screen, so I got screwed over by EA.
But EA loves us, don't we?
Yeah, exactly. So, but yeah, I was going to say it was a bit of a cluster fuck at the start, because I've seen on my theatre that there was a Haas putting a McLaren sideways that went off the track. I don't know if that was netcode or anything. There was another car off the track as well. I went into the wall. Yeah, it was a bit of a clusterfuck after turn 1.
Yeah, on my screen I had a McLaren on my left, which was, I don't know if it was ghosting or not ghosting. It was sort of in and out for that time. And then as he as we sort of carried on going, he then unghosted, and I was sort of like, please don't spin me. Please don't spin me. Please don't spin me. But I managed to survive. So, like I said, we got, P6. I'm going to bring it up because I can bring it up. For an undrafted driver who's now had 2 races and finished P4 and P6, I'm pretty damn happy with that. So, BT, who's here, who's got picked for the Red Bull, as soon as he got picked, I was like, oh, that's Red Bull have came to someone massive. And obviously he's gone and won it this week, and well done to you, mate. So, see you in Div 3 next week. But
I think he got away with it with the safety car coming out and only getting the gap down to 1 second. So I think he got saved by it this week.
He said he was 18 seconds up the road. That's crazy.
Yeah, but
Yes.
then the safety car neutralised it.
Yeah. But there's a lot. Go on. Sorry, I have to.
The final, I've just actually pulled up the screenshot that I did at the end. The final time between me and Tank was 1.7.
Yeah, I can see that myself. Like,
I mean, when you hear someone who's come in as a tier 2 driver, so actually, most people would understand that a tier 2 driver is just you get the odd point where you can, you get this, you support your tier 1 driver. But for Tank, I've got to say, well done, mate. A tier 2 driver goes straight in there, get a P2 next to your teammate. I mean, Red Bull are smashing it, and congratulations to him. I'll give him that. I don't know how they're doing on the overall, but Div 4, you're absolutely smashing it. So that's great stuff. Free agents are doing well. I think I got all their points.
I'm not too sure actually.
And
I
Div
think
4,
we're
I have.
first.
No, X got some points this weekend, so you weren't the only one.
No, for Sauber it was.
Yeah, for Salby, you are, yeah.
Yeah.
But for both of them, you and X have got points in Div 4. So the next question to you both and everything: Abu Dhabi next week. How we feeling?
I'm hoping it rains.
Wadey's. There was going to be a little issue with that one because I didn't know whether I was going to be racing or not, and I'd spoken to Wadey and said that I might need him to host next week. But I'm back online and stuff like that, so Wadey's kind of lost out on hosting, so it won't be wet.
What do you think, BT? Sprint? Who do you think?
I hope it's not wet. I'm horrible to wet.
If it rains at Abu Dhabi, then I'm going to be absolutely doing something to my Xbox and throwing it out the window.
Is that your way of beating up a 9-year-old?
Take the 9-year-old with it. Yeah, Abu Dhabi is definitely going to be one hell of a race.
It is as well, especially with this sprint race included as well. It's going to be a lot of racing laps.
But I definitely think I will be top 3 somewhere. Hopefully.
Confident, I like it. Sparrow?
Monza and Belgium were not my best tracks. Abu Dhabi is not one of my best tracks, and yet I got points. So I'd like to think I can obviously get in the top 8, 9, whatnot. Sprint, I'm actually going to throw a massive curveball out there, and I mean a massive curveball. This guy has been consistent, but he's also been, as Mark was saying in Div 3, someone could easily hit a wall, someone could easily crash out, someone could easily get murdered. So for the sprint, I'm going to actually say your teammate in Arnie. Because of consistency.
He's going to love that. I'm expecting to see the comment in a moment.
So that's that. I've just had a message from my wife. I'm shouting. Sorry.
Naughty. Taz, have you got any questions for either of them?
Sprint. I haven't done the full race yet.
Well, we'll get to that one in a moment. That's the main race.
Okay. Honestly, no. I'm sitting enjoying the conversation. Wanting to deal with it. This is what it's like to watch Extra. It's quite fun.
Good. There is a message in the chat for you, by the way, Sparrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, from Arnie.
I also would like to completely disagree with comments made by unnamed driver. entirely, and he knows I like the person, but yeah.
I know where that one's gone.
Yes, I've just seen the message. No, look, Arnie, I had to choose you. It was either you or freaking choosing Senna. So,
Hey, Senna might actually do a surprise because, as he said, he wants to try and get an extra, so he wants top 10. So he's going to be absolutely pushing this week, which is good to see.
Yeah, there's also a wall waiting for him.
You fucker. So, if that both of you then for main race, what do you reckon? Who takes it, or where do you think yourselves will finish?
After you, Greg.
Okay. For the main race, I think I don't know how my pace is going to be, but I feel like Wadey or Alt will take the win.
Old Zone Mason.
Oh, is he not?
Okay. That's what he's put it down for now. He might change his mind last minute because it's old.
Okay. Well, if he does race, then him or Wadey would be my prediction. But if he doesn't, then Wadey will be my prediction.
Fair enough. To be fair, Wadey has shown some great pace over the last couple of weeks.
Oh yeah, he has.
I know last week at Monza he got murdered and he just didn't want to carry on and he ended up retiring. And then this week he's going to set the fastest qualifying time and stuff like that. So yeah, it shows what a week can do.
I've raced against him obviously last season. He was very fast, quite a lot last season, and yeah, I just feel like he'll be my most competitive driver.
Yeah, your competition. No, that's a good shout. To be fair, Wadey and stuff like that. So good to see what can happen next week at Abu Dhabi between you and Wadey. Then, Sparrow.
Just a quick thing back to the sprint. As Arnie was calling me an idiot, the reason I actually chose you as well is then you could stop moaning at the fact you've raced 200 races and you've not won. So then you could actually win one. Anyway, main race.
Sprint races don't count.
He has won. He has won. He has not qualified on pole. That's the thing he's not done.
Yes, he's not qualified on pole. He has won because he won Monaco.
My apologies. I'll scratch that.
Yeah, that's
still Arnie
that one as well.
Right, main race. As you've said already, unfortunately, Old's probably isn't racing. Wadey is a very good shout. I mean, look, after this week, Tank's even in there, but I'm going to chuck another curveball out there because I've thrown one. I might as well throw two. Might as well look like the biggest idiot going. Another driver has been very consistent and could, if the consistency goes well and some mishaps off ahead goes well, I'm going to throw Tyler James out there.
Oh, you will love that.
I'm being serious.
I don't hate it, to be fair, either.
But
I was going to say you're definitely not going to hate it as with being your teammate.
From an unbiased point of view, right? He's actually started off the season pretty solidly, and I think he had a little bit of sort of a reserved opinion about the fact of where he was. I was a P9 in Monza, but he wasn't actually that far off other drivers. I mean, he was only a couple of seconds off of sort of bigger points. But you look at what he did at the weekend. Yes, there was a safety car. You can say this, you can say whatever you want, but ultimately, he was in the hunt for the points, the big.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
He was at the beefy end of the thing. So yeah, all it takes is something to happen.
Yeah. As far as saying anything can happen. Safety car, or it could throw the massive spanner in the works, and he pulls it out because penalties could be a massive factor as well.
Exactly. Who are you picking?
I think I'm gonna back Lynx Adventura. I think he's had Monza. He did okay, and he had a bit of a rough one at Belgium, and I think he's just going to turn around and say, "Yeah, I need to now step it up," and I think he's going to win it on Sunday for the main race. For the sprint, I'm gonna say I could actually throw a big spanner in the works as well, and I'm gonna go with Wade's brother Dean. He's found some pace lately.
Have I missed something, or has everybody taken some weird substances and not told me that was the plan for tonight? I've
No,
got somebody back in Dean to win a race. I've got somebody else back in Arnie to win a race. Like, can you share the substances around, please? Because this is getting a bit crazy at this point.
well, Dean he qualified well, and he was up there for the point. He was fighting well on Sunday in the top 10, and he was showing good movement last season as well. So,
Dean,
and
honestly,
with him
it's more than him that needs drug tested. The lot of them need drugs. I think Craig, the one who normally is the one that makes the least sense, is the one who's making the most sense so far. Like, what is this world? Am I in like an opposite world right now?
Yeah, he must be.
Are you actually Barnes? Is that what's going on here? Is that
No.
It's like some
We
sort
all
of
think you're in the closet
Scooby-Doo
still.
thing, you know? Yeah. Let's find out who's really behind the voice. Oh, it's F1XL Barnes.
I didn't know he changed his name to F1XL.
Exactly, that's part of the secret, you know.
What about yourself, Taz? Who are you backing?
I'm going to go a little bit more rationale behind my choices. I think for the sprint race, I'm going to back. You know what? Yeah, for
It's
the sprint
tough.
race, yeah, it is tough, but I think I'm probably going to back. Yeah, I'll stick with it. I'm going to back Ulds. I think Ulds is. Do you know what? I spoke about Woody in Div 3, and I might be wrong with this, but I think Ulds is a somewhat similar vein in the fact that he could win a lot of races, but he needs to get his races right. And I think, again, at the weekend, he talked about making a mistake. I think he did something wrong.
Yeah.
I think. But yeah, obviously good win in Monza doing the one stop. Everyone else did, more than one stop. He drove the perfect strategy. But yeah, I think Jules will win a sprint race. I don't know if the main race, again, it's a tougher one. I think a track like Monza makes people. I'm not discrediting them at all, but I think it makes the results look much bigger than they potentially are, and I think that's maybe what's happened there, because it happened in our division as well. Like, DSG Titan won the race, but there was no way that he was as good as he was clear, as much as he drove well. I think, I get the similar vibes about Ulds in Monza. He drove really well. He wasn't 16 seconds faster than the next car fast. I think for the main race, though, I am going to go a bit more, I'm not going to go too crazy, but he's going to absolutely hate me for this, and I am going to back. You know what? I'm going to go Wadey. I think it's. Yeah, I think he's got to prove a point this weekend. I think, bad weekend at Monza. He had the podium. Probably could have had, top two in Spa
Belgium.
if he wasn't murdered. But I think, ultimately, again, he was a significant gap behind BT for a lot of the race. I think this has got to be the weekend where he's like, I'm in the title fight. I need to win a race. I think this will be that. So, yeah. There you go.
Thank you very much for that one, Todd. I don't know what else I'll say now.
Right, I'll flip back over then.
Basically half.
Yeah, I was going to say
half of Div 4's winning.
Yeah. First of all, I'd like to say well done. You did a good job. I was listening for most of it. There was a small stint I wasn't, but I did listen for the most part. And you did well, so yeah, well done. Yeah, I think Sparrow, BT. Thank you very much for coming on the show. First of all, makes our lives much easier, and always good to chat to you guys. But yeah, hopefully we'll get you guys on the show again at some point soon.
Well, thanks for having us, and we look forward to non-picked drivers continuously running up the scores. I'm going to leave now before I get shot.
Yeah, and that's by his wife, by the way, not even by us. So
yeah,
exactly.
Perfect. No, thank you very much, lads, and I'll speak to you in a bit.
Bye.
Yeah.
Bye.
Catch you in a bit, boys. Thank you.
Right.
Thank you
Just
for having
quickly.
us.
No worries, Craig. Right. Just lastly, overall, quickly, another good week for Red Bull. Big results in terms of the points they've scored. Another 70 plus points.
Yeah, I'm just looking at that now.
Comfortably the top team for the second week running. Nice little early gap, 36 points to Ferrari, who had a decent week, but Red Bull have picked up 70 something points from 3 rounds. Last week it was 70 something points from 4 rounds. My spreadsheet's taking its time to load up.
Yeah,
So yeah,
78 points round 1, 76 round 2 for Red Bull.
yeah. So that's with one race left. So it's a very good result for them. Ferrari sitting in second quite nicely, but gap already to Aston Martin has opened up. 67 points between Red Bull and Aston Martin. So very strong start for Red Bull and making a clear message that they're here to win the title.
Yeah, Aston didn't get the greatest of points last week. They only scored 14.
Yeah, that's it. It was a strong start, but unfortunately, second week. Sometimes second week's harder than the first week.
Yeah.
But yeah, P4 for Haas, who did have a better week this week. They had a bad week 1, but a good week 2. They are 6 points behind the Aston Martin. 17 points back from them is the Williams team with Lynx Aventura. Then you've got Barnes in the Mercedes team again, only 6 points back. I think they've had, the way I describe that, as a steady start. Nothing fantastic, but I think they had a bad
They had
week at the weekend, but
yeah, they only scored 13 points. They scored 1 point less than Aston Martin this weekend.
yeah. So, but yeah, I think Barnes said he wanted to be top 5, so I think it's where they're looking to be overall. Then you have the free agent team of Alpine, who are 6 points behind the Mercedes, 15 points ahead of the McLarens. Yes, we've not had a good start at all. I've had one result just outside the points, one result in the points. Hubbard's had one result in the points, one result out the points, and then the 4 lads, they've had, I think Tyler's had 2 decent races. Quezi not so much. I think he's P11 at the weekend. I think he's definitely starting to find the grips of things. So could be an outsider for this weekend. But yeah, Div 2. Things are bad when Greeners is carrying a team. So
someone needs drug testing there if Greeners is carrying the team.
Exactly. Exactly. But yeah, no, that's it. And then P9 we have the Sauber team, and then P10. Very happy to say is Steve, whose team actually scored more than triple the amount of points that they scored in week 1. So they have scored 18 points instead of 5. So that's a massive gain.
It certainly is.
Yeah, and fair play to the team. It's about time that they turned up. Yeah, fair play. It's bad week in general. I think obviously what's his name, Mark, did sort of hint about that, the fact that things just have gone badly wrong for them.
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to work something out. Yep, so that's fine. So yeah, if they manage to do that again this weekend, they will score 65 points. which is still less than what Red Bull has scored if they multiply their difference again.
Should be interesting to see how Steve motivates his team this week.
I very much look forward to a weekend like this because obviously it's totally different, and on top of that you've got the chaos of the sprint weekend, so you're gonna get more points on the table as well. So be interesting to see. But I think we're pretty much done at this point, Matty, to be honest. So anything else you would like to say before we end said stream?
Well, I've just got to say is let's keep these numbers up because all the leagues at the moment have been averaging more than anything at the moment. So let's just keep it going and keep the fighting going.
Yeah, I totally agree with what you're saying there. I think we're well. Div 1 had, I think, again 19 drivers or 20 drivers. Div 2 definitely had similar. I think they had 19. Div 3, we didn't have the best week 1, but I know there was a few people that were unavailable for different reasons. We're not holding that against anybody. But this week we had the full 20, and we had probably one more who was sitting there waiting to drive. One person had to turn in last minute and say they couldn't race as well. So yeah, we're almost over full. And then again, Div 4, you had 19 drivers again. So yeah, keep it up, lads, because this is great. We love to see full grids. I know people complain about not scoring points, but sometimes it's about the battling as well. Yeah, I think Matty, thank you very much for stepping in.
You're welcome.
Always
Thank you
happy
for
to have
having me.
you come in as the second chair. Obviously Barnes should be back next week. Obviously I'll let you guys know if there's any problems or changes with that. For tonight, Sparrow, I was just about to say that, funnily enough. I think it's F1 lobbies, to be honest. I'm just going to double check the numbers now. But when I looked at it, F1 sprint race was up by 1. Sprint race, 5 lappers was up by 1. So let me just get an update on that. It's currently sitting at, I'm in the wrong one because that's the.
No, I'm just trying to find it now.
It's a tie. Okay. We have 10 for Wreckfest and we have 10 for F1 online lobbies. Now,
someone's just checking. Yeah, someone's just got off Wreckfest.
And put it back on again. And take it off again. Someone is trolling. That's what's going on here.
Yeah, there is, and there is one name I've seen on that list as well for Wreckfest. If he turns up, I will be absolutely shocked.
Who's that?
F1XL Posty.
Nah, he won't turn up.
I know he won't. So do we count his vote?
To be fair, I think we're going to have to do F1 anyway because we've got the votes there. But you know,
yeah.
At this point, if we're going to do Wreckfest, you know, Dom may as well stop working for the Raw and start working for Every because you know, probably not going to turn up.
Yeah,
I'm only joking, Dom. Hope you are doing well. Hopefully we get some interviews at some point. But yeah, I think we will do F1 sprint lobbies. We'll start at about sort of 10 to 9, I'd say. I'll get some stuff moved around in the room, and then we'll get that on the go. But it'll be on this channel. I'll stream it so you can have a laugh. And yeah, if you want in, just join off me, or if you want an invite, obviously chuck a message in the chat. I'll chuck a tag when the stream's live as well. But I think for now, anyway, thank you very much again to Matty, and we will speak to you guys in about 20 minutes. But see you in a bit. Bye.
Catch you later.